Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be around the world. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this edition of the News in English on Rwanda Television. My name is Serge Nhore. Let us begin with the headlines. Shareholders of BPR are urging the bank to expedite the process of updating member information so that those seeking to access their shares can do so promptly. Exporters and importers agree with the recent report by the National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda, which revealed that cross-border trade has increased by 49%. And on the international scene, the death toll from Israel's war against Hamas militants in Gaza is far higher than official figures, this according to a new analysis. Now let's delve into the details. Shareholders in BPR are urging the bank to expedite the process of updating member information so that those seeking to access their shares can do so promptly. The bank has announced that the registration process for all shareholders is ongoing, with updated information already collected for approximately 240,000 shareholders, representing 42% of all small shareholders in the bank. BPR shareholders have expressed concerns about inadequate information regarding their shares and have made various requests for improvements. During the recent press conference on Thursday, His Excellency President Paul Kagame addressed the issue of BPR shareholders, indicating that the matter has been referred to the relevant authorities for prompt resolution. Meanwhile, BPR has issued a statement informing its shareholders and the general public that the registration process of all shareholders is still underway and is being conducted through its vast branch network. Additionally, after the first 4 months of 2025, the bank's management plans to initiate an evaluation exercise for BPR bank shares. This initiative aims to help shareholders understand the value of their shares and facilitate the sale or transfer of shares more efficiently. As we noted in the headlines, exporters and importers agree with the recent report by the National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda, which revealed that cross-border trade has increased by 49%. The report shows that exports grew by 77%, while imports increased by 36%. Economic analysts highlight that if this growth continues, the rising exports will positively impact the country's economy, particularly by increasing the value of Rwanda's franc. According to the NISR, Rwanda's trade volume was valued at $2.982 billion, reflecting a 41% increase in the third quarter of 2024. Rwanda's exports surged by 77.86%, rising from $367.61 million in 2023 to $653.85 million in 2024. The United Arab Emirates topped the list of destinations for Rwandan exports, followed by the Democratic Republic of Congo, then China, Luxembourg, and the United Kingdom. On the other hand, imports into Rwanda also increased by 36.39%. China remains the leading source of imports, followed by Tanzania, Kenya, India, and Cameroon. Now to health matters. The Ministry of Youth and Arts has once again urged young people to intensify efforts to prevent the spread of HIV as infection rates among the youth continue to rise. Recent data from the National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda revealed that over 9,000 people were diagnosed with HIV in 2023. The report showed that among the more than 380,000 individuals aged 15 to 24 who were tested, over 1,600 were found to be HIV positive. Some youth in Kigali have expressed concerns that their peers have relaxed their efforts to prevent HIV, urging others to take personal responsibility for their health and safeguard their lives. Observations have also been made that the rise in HIV infections among young people reflect failure by parents and guardians to provide adequate guidance and upbringing to their children. In December, the Ministry of Health announced that of the 100 people who die daily in Rwanda, 7 succumb to AIDS-related complications and 9 new HIV infections are recorded daily. Overall, the data indicates that the youth segment, aged 15 to 24, are showing a growing infection rate, accounting for 35% of total new cases in 2023. Now back to business matters, and the Rwanda Consumer Price Index is reported to have increased by 6.4% on an annual basis, and it increased by 1.6% on monthly basis overall, with a 6.8 increase on Urban Consumer Price Index. William Evans Mutabazi with the details.
By definition, the Consumer Price Index can be understood as the measure of average change over time in prices paid by consumers for a representative basket of consumer goods and services. In a publication released yesterday, the 10th of January, the National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda highlighted that the Urban Consumer Price Index was calculated based on approximately 1,622 products in 12 urban centers of Rwanda, whose results indicated that consumer prices in urban areas had risen by 6.8% in December 2024 compared to the same month in 2023. Despite the annual rise, however, urban prices experienced a 0.8 decline compared to November 2024, reflecting a slight monthly price relief for urban consumers. The food and non-alcoholic beverages category experienced a 6.0% increase, with significant price surges in meat and milk, cheese and eggs, while vegetables rose by 6.9%, although they declined by 8.5% compared to November 2024. Additionally, the cost of housing, water, electricity, gas and other fuels increased by 4.7%, reflecting sustained demand and higher costs in the utilities sector. On a broader scale, Rwanda's overall consumer price index, which combines both urban and rural areas, rose by 6.4% annually, while the rural consumer price index increased by 6.2%. However, on a monthly basis, rural prices dropped by 2.1%, contributing to a 1.6% decline in the national index. All this indicates varied inflationary pressures across regions and the need for ongoing monitoring of price trends as both consumers and policymakers navigate the implications of these fluctuations in Rwanda's economy. William Evans, Mutabazi, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, William. Now, youth have created jobs in technology, but students at the University of Rwanda studying technology-related fields have expressed that they still face challenges continuing their projects after presenting them. We have the details with Nola Gladys Benimana.
Several young people, mostly university students, who are working on various technology projects aimed at solving different societal problems. These young people highlight that there are still challenges preventing their projects from continuing to function well after being showcased.
We had already the ideas in place, and from the backgrounds that we had and the education system that we had, which was not targeting to the challenges we have, so that we can be boosted to be the innovators. So we had that challenge of such a facility comes to answer as a solution. This inclusivity of those hubs which are now available. So sometimes it's all about which background you have to access a hub. If you are a student from, maybe for instance, if I would give an example from rural areas, how are you able to then get to know that in Kigali there is a hub, and even though you are studying within the campus, but you're always afraid of getting out there and then try to see all of those hubs available. And which skills do they need to host you or to accommodate you? All of those skills, you will see that you don't have them in place, given the schools you went to in high school, given the background that you have, so those are the challenges that always limit us to use all of those facilities.
I have a lot of projects and a lot running in my mind, but I don't know how to start. I don't know how to progress. I see and I don't find any way to do what I want to do actually. For example, right now we have what we call obstacles to do what we want, but I understood that these were not the obstacles actually. Because there are people there available to help me through it and reach where I want my project to reach.
The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of ICT and Innovations states that as the ministry responsible for technology, they have launched a program to award contracts to technology projects developed by the youth in order to strengthen them.
It is a partnership aimed at ensuring that the best youth projects make it to the market, starting with the government. The way the government provides contract for this project is crucial, as they should not be sidelined. The second important point is collaborating with partners and small private sector entrepreneurs to ensure they achieve results through innovation. We have many youth projects, and as we continue to support them, they can thrive and succeed, especially since we have a market for them.
In order to further enhance the knowledge of the youth and provide them with future employment opportunities, 1 million people will be trained in technology-related skills. Additionally, 500,000 others will receive advanced technology training. Enora Gladys, RwandaTV News.
In Rwanda's national parks, including the Akagera National Park, tour guides play a vital role in conserving the biodiversity within such protected areas. They take pride in their work, knowing that they are promoting their country's natural heritage. Enola Gladys Venimana once more.
Guides are dedicated to their profession, contributing significantly to the park's development and the preservation of its ecosystems. Their commitment is evident in their daily interactions with tourists, where they share their extensive knowledge and passion for wildlife conservation.
It
is immensely rewarding to assist tourists visiting Rwanda, ensuring they enjoy their travels and return home with a positive impression for our country. Often they encourage others from their homelands to visit Rwanda as well. I take great pride in playing a vital role in promoting my country internationally, contributing to the increase in the tour.
Always when I'm standing in this position, I'm not working as me, as Penina. I'm working as country, park, and always in the African as a continent. Always when I'm doing long things, I know all the continent has a problem, all the countries has a problem. I'm just encouraging everyone and always to everybody it's better to do better things than not you as you do it as a country, and always in the African as a continent. Always when I'm doing long things, I know all the continent has a problem, all the countries has a problem. I'm just encouraging everyone and always to everybody it's better to do better things than not you as you do it as a country or as a continent. This is a passionate thing. If you don't have passion, you cannot spend a time in this field, which means, let me tell you something for me, because me, I'm already passionate for this, because always when I be, even in the village, I'm always looking in the air. I'm very passionate for the birds.
In general, how we work in this park, so we started by learning animal behavior. So that's how we work with the animals, because as long as we don't learn animal behaviors, we cannot know how you can behave in front of them, because sometimes some animals can attack you. But when you know their behavior, you can know that this one is angry or is not angry. So that's how we chill with them in the nature. With a lot of people, we feel like we are ambassadors, because we know that those people who are coming out of our country, so they are looking at us. What we will give them is what will go in their mind. So that's why we are here as ambassadors of the country and ambassadors of ourselves. Because as long as we give them best information, because we are interpreters, we are not teachers. We interpret what we are seeing. So as long as we give them more information about the nature, about the country, and how our country works, so we will go there with them in their mind. So we are here as ambassadors of our country.
Tourists to Akagera National Park often commend the guides for their dedication and the warm hospitality they provide. This positive feedback reflects the guides' enthusiasm and the comprehensive training they undergo to ensure a memorable experience for tourists. We visited Rwanda with a perfect guide. He was enthusiastic and diligent, providing clear explanations that sparked our curiosity to learn even more. As we traveled, fishermen sang along the way, enhancing the enjoyment of our journey. We are very grateful for their dedication to making our trip delightful and for their warm hospitality. The park's management acknowledges the indispensable role of tour guides in its operations. Their efforts not only enhance the tourist experience but also contribute to the park's sustainability and the well-being of surrounding communities.
Abagide bayobora abashyitsi bacu badusura ni ikintu twishimira kuba tubafite.
We appreciate having tour guides who assist our tourists in visiting the park. They help tourists have a memorable experience at Akagera National Park by sharing its history and advising on appropriate behavior when encountering animals to ensure safety.
Ndetse bakoresha uburyo bwose umuturiste uri kumwe nabo adahura n'ikibazo na kimwe ari muri parike.
Currently, Akagera National Park employs approximately 35 permanent tour guides. Additionally, there are guides from the Community Freelance Guide Program, an initiative that supports local communities by providing employment opportunities and promoting sustainable livelihoods. Through their work, these guides help raise awareness about the importance of biodiversity conservation and showcase the rich natural beauty of Rwanda to the world. Enra Gladys, RwandaTV News.
The death toll from Israel's war against Hamas militants in Gaza is far higher than official figures. This according to a new analysis. VOA has the details.
More than 64,000 deaths in the Gaza Strip caused by violence. A new study in the medical journal The Lancet says the Hamas-run Ministry of Health underreported the death toll by more than 40% between October 7th, 2023 and June 30th, 2024. Report co-author Zaina Jamaluddin.
In reality, the number of mortality might be higher if we also include the issue of not accessing healthcare, heart attacks, and some of that aspect. Infectious diseases, maternal care, pregnant women not being able to get access to proper delivery, and so on.
59% of the dead were women, children and older people, according to the peer-reviewed Lancet report, roughly in line with other estimates. It did not identify the number of Hamas fighters among the dead. In a statement, Israel's embassy in London told VOA, quote, "Any information that derives from Gaza cannot be trusted, nor can you ignore the Lancet's history of anti-Israel bias." VOA is unable to verify the figures as Israel does not allow journalists into Gaza. The researchers cross-referenced 3 different sources or lists: the Gaza Ministry of Health, an online survey of reported deaths, and obituaries on social media. Jamaluddin says,
"It's important so that within each list we don't have duplication, so we don't want to have the same person within the same list listed multiple times, so we do a lot of cleaning. But then we link all of the 3 lists together."
The same technique has been used to estimate deaths in other conflicts, she adds.
It has been used in Sudan, in Yemen, has also been used in Kosovo, and some of this evidence has been used in the ICJ.
Israel launched its war on Hamas in Gaza following the militant group's cross-border attack on October 7th, 2023, which killed more than 1,200 people, mostly civilians. The United States, United Kingdom, European Union and others have designated Hamas as a terror organization. Henry Ridgewell, VOA News.
Technology companies, industry executives and entrepreneurs are in Las Vegas this week for the CES Tech Show, the massive consumer electronics show featuring the latest advancements in artificial intelligence, vehicle technology, robotics and more. VOA once more.
CES, the massive consumer electronics trade show that takes place every year in Las Vegas, kicked off this week with a keynote from NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang. NVIDIA is a U.S. computing company that had a blockbuster year in 2024, with a market capitalization of $3 trillion and share prices that surged 171%. It's also at the center of the artificial intelligence boom.
Agentic AI. AIs that can perceive, reason, plan, and act. And then the next phase, some of which we'll talk about tonight, physical AI.
Leaders at NVIDIA say the latest AI models are better able to reason and can even train and test themselves.
Potentially, the AI can talk to itself or talk to other AIs, and just like how humans in a team can challenge each other, challenge each other's assumptions, test each other, grade each other with their results, AIs can do the same thing.
AI agents may become a firm's new digital workforce if given business-specific data and predefined parameters, Huang says.
The IT department of every company is going to be the HR department of AI agents in the future.
What Huang calls physical AI takes things a step further, interpreting data to carry out tasks and functions in the real world. Automakers are exploring the field as cars advance from driver-assisted technologies to fully autonomous vehicles. Their success is aided by AI predicting real-world scenarios that can be, well, unpredictable.
I don't think there's a fundamental issue of them not being safe. It's how do you interact with the rest of the environment? And that still has some development to go. It's working pretty well in most cases. You're going to have challenges to meet, but human drivers aren't 100% safe either.
Honda unveiled 2 prototype electric vehicles, currently without self-driving functionality. One company vice president stresses the importance of remembering who ultimately benefits from advances in technology.
Honda has always pursued human-centric vehicle development, and I think that is all the more important in this era of software-defined vehicles and autonomous driving.
Human-centric technology working hand-in-hand with AI agents, challenging the relationship between humans and machines. Tina Trin, VOA News, Las Vegas.
Now, as we conclude this edition of the newsletters, again, take a look at the headlines. Shareholders of BPR are urging the bank, that is, to expedite the process of updating member information so that those seeking to access their shares can do so promptly. Exporters and importers agree with the recent report by the National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda, which revealed that cross-border trade has increased by 49%. And the death toll from Israel's war against Hamas militants in Gaza is far higher than official figures, this according to a new analysis. It was a pleasure having you with us. Stay with Rwanda Television as the programs continue, and I will be seeing you soon again. Goodbye.